And welcome to another episode of Now Showing. I'm your host Abhijit Bhatt. November is like the Friday of months. Everything is laid back. Winter starts to seep in. You know the year is about to end and all you want to do is get cozy in your home and catch up on some amazing movies and TV shows. हैरी पॉटर में था डॉबी और अगर मूवीज देखना है आपकी हॉबी then you are at the perfectly right place. So, without further delay, let's take a look at what's brewing on this week's edition of Now Showing. 6 years later, Ajay Devgan and Rakul Preet return with De De Pyar De 2 and this time, convincing her parents is easier than convincing the audience. Shefali Shah's Madam Sir and her team face off against Huma Qureshi's terrifying Badi Didi in Delhi Crime 3, making it a truly gripping investigative thriller. Rajiv Rai talks about his conversation with SRK about Aryan Khan's The Bads of Bollywood, reveals why actors prefer working with big producers, and asserts that the 80s wasn't the weakest phase of Hindi cinema. A freewheeling chat with Sonakshi Sinha and Shilpa Shirodkar about making Jatadhara, Mahesh Babu's unmatched popularity, and Sonakshi also addresses the pregnancy rumors. Alright, let's start the show with this week's hottest releases and recommendations. You know, it's really unfair that there are 4 days between Monday and Saturday, but only 2 days between Friday and Monday. We know this pain of yours, which is why in order to help you make the most of your already short weekend, our entertainment and lifestyle editor Tavishi Paitandi is here to guide you to some dhamakedar entertainment. Over to you, Tavishi.
Thanks, Abhijit. Hey everyone, this week seems to be a week of sequels, be it at the cinemas or the gritty world of crime investigation on OTT. Let's start with the part 2 of Ajay Devgan, Rakul Preet Singh rom-com De De Pyar De. 6 years after Ajay Devgan and Rakul Preet Singh tried convincing us that love across generations can be cute, they are back. And this time, they are trying to convince someone tougher, her parents. Yes, De De Pyar De 2 hits the screens with a brand new challenge. But the only thing I'm convinced of, the sequel just doesn't match up to the original. The film opens with a flashback narrated by Javed Jafri, who, let me say it straight, steals every scene he's in. Comedy timing, expressions, he's sharper than anyone else in the room. From London to Chandigarh, the story follows Aisha returning home from her sister-in-law's delivery. The perfect occasion to drop the bomb that her boyfriend is, well, 51. And no, her parents have no idea. Enter R. Madhavan and Gautami Kapoor as Aisha's educated, progressive parents. But honestly, they are the surprise gift-wrapped highlight of the film. Madhavan plays the super cool dad who wants to be his kid's friend. Loving husband, doting father, and frankly, a far better performer than the actual leading man. Yes, I said it. From full throttle comedy to emotional breakdowns, Madhavan delivers like only he can. Gautami Kapoor compliments him beautifully. Their chemistry is warm, believable, and honestly more engaging than Ajay and Rakul's. But modernity crashes the moment they learn Aisha wants to marry someone just 2 years younger than them. And suddenly, these liberal parents are asking the oldest Indian question, "Log kya kahenge?" What follows is a father-daughter comedy war. He manipulates, she counters, and we watch them play tug-of-war over Mizan Jafri, who's supposed to be the age-appropriate groom. Mizan doesn't get much to do apart from being the punchline to Javed Jafri's meta jokes about his own son. But yes, he shows potential in a better film. Rakul Preet Singh sparkles in the lighter scenes, but those heavy emotional breakdowns, especially the dance floor meltdown, let's just say unintentionally funny. As for Ajay Devgan, he's Ajay Devgan. Reliable, steady, occasionally fun, but rarely surprising. His comedy bits with Javed Jafri work, but otherwise he skates safely through the film. And sure, I'm all for watching easy entertainers without looking for logic. But if I'm frowning through most of the scenes, the film is doing something wrong. Back in 2019, De De Pyar De was a pleasant surprise. Refreshing, relatable, and genuinely fun despite its flaws. De De Pyar De 2 tries to capture that charm. There are moments where you think, okay, maybe they have cracked it again. But then the writing falters, the story thins out, the humor becomes the only real survivor. Some jokes land, some moments shine, but the film never creates the magic or the recall value of the original. Watch it once if you must, for the laughs, for Madhavan's sincerity, for Javed Jafri's fabulous timing. But beyond that, there isn't much pyar left in De De Pyar De 2. If Delhi Crime's earlier seasons made you uneasy, season 3 will leave you gutted. Because this time, it isn't just about crime. It's about how invisible some lives truly are. The season begins with a frantic search, a mother missing her baby critically injured. What looks like a simple missing person case quickly spirals into something far darker. It turns into a web of human trafficking. Women and children being sold, traded, handed over, sometimes by their own families. The trail stretches across states, across borders, and it's horrifyingly real. At one point, ACP Vartika Chaturvedi, played by the incomparable Shefali Shah, says, "No one misses missing girls." And that's the line that defines this season. Delhi Crime 3 isn't here just to show us the investigation. It's holding up a mirror to society, to us, asking why the most vulnerable always slip through the cracks. The writing doesn't flinch. The storytelling doesn't soften. It's uncomfortable, but maybe it should be. Visually, the series continues its signature realism. The close-ups are tight, almost suffocating. The camera traps you inside the horror. You cannot look away even when you want to. Every frame feels raw, lived in, disturbingly authentic. Let's talk performances. Shefali Shah once again delivers a powerhouse act. She is Vartika Chaturvedi, not just the cop, but the conscience of the story. Every flicker of exhaustion, empathy, and anger shows in her eyes. Then comes Huma Qureshi, a surprise addition as Badi Didi. The calm, chilling face of evil. Her maternal warmth masks a terrifying ruthlessness. It's one of her most nuanced roles yet. Meeta Vashisht is outstanding as a middlewoman in the trafficking chain. So believable, you forget she's performing. Sayami Gupta as Kusum delivers quite heartbreak, a woman betrayed by the system she once served. And the supporting cast, Rasika Duggal, Rajesh Talang, Gopal Dutt, Jaya Bhattacharya, all bring depth and dignity. Rasika especially shines as an officer holding her life and her duty together by sheer will. What truly works here is the sensitivity. Despite the disturbing theme, the show never feels exploitative. The writing is sharp, the direction precise, and the performances, every single one, elevate the material. You feel the emotional weight constantly on the cops, on the victims, and yes, on yourself. Every episode leaves you slightly hollow, and that's exactly the intent. If there's one weak spot, it's the climax. You see it coming. The final act feels a bit too neat, too expected for a show that thrives on unpredictability. It doesn't quite land the knockout punch you hope for. But make no mistake, Delhi Crime Season 3 is still dark, powerful, and deeply human. It doesn't ask for your attention, it demands your empathy. Because In Vartika Chaturvedi's world and ours, no one misses missing girls. And maybe that's exactly why we should be watching this. Streaming now on Netflix, brace yourself. Delhi Crime Season 3 doesn't just tell you a story, it makes you feel its weight.
Thank you so much, Tavishi, for those recommendations. And moving on, the song Duniya Hasino Ka Mela was the big twist in Aryan Khan's directorial debut, The Bads of Bollywood. It not only gave new life to the film Gupt, but also made Shah Rukh Khan a little nervous about using the track. Up next, we have Gupt director Rajiv Rai sharing his conversation with King Khan in this interview with my colleague Vishal Chatkara. The director of blockbusters like Tridev, Vishwatma and Mohra also asserts that the 1980s were not the weakest era of Hindi cinema. He also explains why some actresses from the 80s were unable to make successful comebacks and shares why he doesn't support the idea of lead actors being in a relationship off screen and much more.
Film Gupt and the song Duniya Hasino Ka Mela have found a surprising new life in Aryan Khan's directorial debut, The Bads of Bollywood.
Yeah. Yes.
How did that collaboration happen? And were you involved early on, or did Shah Rukh Khan personally get in touch with you about using the song?
See, at some point he phoned me personally. He was very respectful, and I immediately said yes to him. It was many months back. I could see the worry that the song is very important. That I could guess that this song is integrated within the storyline, and they need it badly. So I did not take any advantage, emotional blackmail. I realized that 3 or 4 times I must have spoken to him. I could see he was a bit worried because I'm a difficult guy. Okay. I don't give things that easy. And I'm very possessive about my work, and I should be. And so, but I was very happy with my dealing with Shah Rukh. I give all the credit to his son for having made a very interesting web series, and the credit to the song having run obviously goes to Shah Rukh Khan or Aryan Khan, and then to Viju Shah, perhaps. I'm third in the line.
I always wanted to ask you this. You made some of the most successful and defining films during the 80s and early 90s. Yudh, Tridev, Vishwatma. Yet many critics describe the 1980s as the weakest period of Hindi cinema. Do you agree with that perception? Or do you think that era is often misunderstood?
Oh, that era is misunderstood in the way that during that period, critics looked down upon the films generally. Commercial masala, Bollywood stuff with songs, and they used to say singing around trees, and they used to have all kinds of things. Internationally, the world, when they viewed Bollywood films on television or whatever in cinema, loved the color and the glamour of Bollywood.
Of the 80s?
Because it was very different to their films. That's the time when cinema was at its peak, according to me, where we had a story, we had song, we had everything integrated into the film. And star cast, you could have a multi-starrer, you could have so much going on, and it was entertaining, and the ticket prices were very, very, very cheap, very affordable. That was the golden era of Bollywood and will remain so. And I will probably be 1% fraction of that era somewhere, that I was lucky to have made films in that era.
But sir, then do you wonder why most of the actresses who were mostly who define 80s like Farah Naz, Kimmi Katikar, Mandakini, Sonam, Mamta Kulkarni, they sort of disappeared from the film scene?
It's an age factor, I guess, because they all
Oh,
grown up.
even by the late 90s, I mean, I don't think the today's generation know much about Farah.
So
Farah was a big star.
people want, a younger generation wants to see their generation, no? So, I mean, if I'm making a film today, I'm going to make a girl who's 18, 19, or 20, or 21, or whatever. And so I'm not going to take a past heroine unless I need a mother role. Uh, so a lot of them disappeared because I think a lot of them got married. And when they go away from the cinema and the lights and the camera, and one day they want to come back. But if they continue and they don't leave the cinema, they'll continue getting. I mean, you look at Tabu. She continued. She never left her work. And I believe she never married. So she never had like that family and husband life to concentrate there. But most girls who tend to marry, then they have children, you have to give it a pause. You have to give it a halt. So when you pause your career, it's very difficult to get it back on track. Very difficult. Pausing your career is harmful for a girl. Men generally don't pause their career, so they continue. I mean,
This
I
is coming
remember,
to father
I
roles.
remember Vinod Khanna paused his career at one time, but he came back. But you know, that kind of a comeback is very rare.
Coming to your films, and especially about Mohra, how healthy it is for a film when its lead cast members are in a relationship, and do they end
Okay,
up spending more time on
personally,
set together?
personally, personally, if you ask me, at my personal individual opinion, it's not healthy.
So then, how worrying it is for a director when the lead pay break up mid shoot?
You see, if they break up, you're in trouble. That is another area of worry. And one area is when you're too involved and enjoying the company of each other and there's a shooting going on, you're distracted from the actual focus of the work. And then if there is some kind of a fight or a breakup or a sort of a disparity going on or an argument, obviously is going to affect the work of those actors. I don't
And
think
film also. No?
this is not a very common, people talk about this. Well, there are many instances where this has happened. I know of film where people are bust up during the film, and that's not very. It's not a happy situation for the producer. The unit will also be whispering something or the other. So it's not a kind of, you're not very happy about it.
So then, do you think producers had more power over actors than compared to today? Back in the day,
Producers, I think that big producers always have power, big, and the small producers are struggling. The big producers had power then. I think the big producers today are corporate houses or big production companies. You know them, 8, 10 of them. So they have the same power, if not more. They have big power over the actor. So if you go to the actor, the first question he'll put to you, who's the producer? They won't even ask you who's the director or who's the writer. The first question on an actor's mind today, and back then too, more now, is who's the producer, who's the corporate. The thing is, big directors are respected, big producers are very respected because actors know the film will be mounted, made well, and distributed well. So the confidence of the actor is more on the producer, and I hate to say this, than the script.
well, with that, I just want to say thank you for taking time out.
Yeah, thank
Looking
you.
forward to part 2 of Zora.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll do next. Thank you so much, sir, and all the best.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Sonakshi Sinha made her Telugu debut last week with Jatadhara, which also stars Shilpa Shirodkar. My colleague Titash Chaudhary recently caught up with the two actresses and got them talking about making the film, Mahesh Babu's unmatched popularity and the changing dynamics for married actresses in Bollywood. In the conversation, Sonakshi also addresses the pregnancy rumors. Check it out.
You did one Telugu film earlier called
Yes,
Brahma
yes, in the
Correct?
90s.
in the 90s. And this is your second Telugu film technically.
Yes.
Is Sonakshi for you, I mean, did really no Telugu offers come before this? Hard to believe.
There have been a few, but I've always been actually busy with my projects that I'm doing over here, so I wasn't able to do them. But I was never like averse to doing them. I've always been open to doing it. I've done one Tamil film before. This is the first Telugu film that I'm doing. But and I want to do more work, down south as well. So this came at a time where I was looking to play a very different role. And when I heard the film, I was like, I have to do this.
Absolutely, very, very different, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we've never seen you in an avatar like that.
Yeah.
Very
कभी सोचा था तुमने मैं पिशाची नहीं बनूंगी.
Pishachini, exactly. Mahesh Babu and Namrata Shirodkar, they have, you know, launched the trailer of this. I mean, of course, you have a familial connection there. What is it like, you know, to have the support of, you know, such a big superstar, you know, coming forward and extending support to your film?
It's fantastic. I mean, to have it just gives you a whole start with a bang, right? And he's someone who's so loved and so respected, and you know, he's been a part of such amazing films. For him to have launched a trailer was like, it was just amazing. I mean, we got so many more eyeballs, so many more people stood up and took notice of the film, and the scale of which the film is made, and we needed someone with that kind of, you know, reach to even
to come and acknowledge the film
announce
and
it. Yeah,
welcome us.
yeah.
Very true, true. Did you have a chat with him? Has he watched the film yet?
Yeah, he's very happy. He's very happy because Sudhir is his brother-in-law and I'm his sister-in-law. So he's very happy for both of us and he's very happy for the film. And he's very happy that, you know, we were just talking about Jatadhara like the beginning of the year and it's up for release. So he's like really, really excited. He's a man of few words. He doesn't express so easily.
Is it?
Yeah, yeah. He's a very silent person. He's a very quiet person. So he's not someone who's very vocal about it. But we know as family, he's always wishing us well. And he's always got our backs. So I think that's what we want.
Yeah.
So this is your comeback, technically, after a long, long time.
Yeah.
Now, I had heard when you got married, you sort of wanted to, you know, place your focus on, you know, raising a family.
Yeah,
on that life.
absolutely. My husband was not going to be in the country. And at that time, it all changed. I got married in 2000 and the 2000 was the kicking point where things started changing.
Yeah, like a
क्योंकि
transition
हमारे
period.
क्योंकि हमारे time पे क्या था कि you get married and you leave the industry.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the country or you're not in the
because
country.
you don't
it's-
get work.
Yeah, you don't get work, nahi, but there was less work written for married women at that time. The whole change happened, and thanks to Kajol, I think she was the one who made the difference. MD got back. I think Devdas was soon after her marriage as well. So all those things started happening. People started accepting. And today there's a whole new world for us.
Absolutely.
You know, it doesn't matter whether you're married or you're not even in the country. Even if you're not in the country, you can still come, do your work and you can go back. So I think welcome change, and I think I'm here at the right time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Sonakshi, what do you make of it? Of course, like she said, the scenario has changed by leaps and bounds
Yeah.
today.
No, I mean, I'm just listening to it and I'm thinking like they walked so we could run. Today, I don't even think about the fact that, you know, I got married and I'm not like being able to do any work or this and that. That thought has also not come to me. Like, you don't think in that direction at all. It's literally like, you know, there was
it's
like,
a part of life.
yeah, it's a part of
Yeah,
life.
it's a
as
part
it
of
should be.
growing up.
As
like
it should be,
yeah.
as it happens in every other profession.
Absolutely.
Today, if a journalist gets married, they're not going to stop working, or they're not going to. There's not going to be a pause in their
Yeah, true, in
work
their
at
career.
all.
Yeah.
In their career at all as a woman. So I think it's great, and hats off to women like them who have kind of, you know, paved that path for us.
We speak so much about the fact, like, forget the sexism that exists, it exists everywhere. But since you're in a visual medium, people often talk about how ageist, you know, this industry is. Do you also see that changing? Do you
I
still
don't think
feel
anymore.
this obsession with looking youthful or fresh?
No, I don't think
It's a very
anymore. In
wrong
fact,
thing to say.
I've made it very clear to my team when I didn't know that there was something like a digital team and there's a PR team and there's a stylist. And I still don't have a stylist, by the way. I have my own friends who give me clothes and stuff like that. So I don't know that these things are there. Okay, now of course I have a digital team and PR thanks to Big Boss and whatever. And I've told them very clearly that I do not want to look 20 years old. I want to look 51, and I'm extremely proud of the fact that I am 51 years old. I have a 21-year-old daughter and I'm here. I'm working, and these realizations actually happened thanks to Big Boss, because I had my dear Chum and Karan who kept telling me that, you know what, ma'am, set an example for women your age. Don't quit, don't want to go, you don't want to go home. You want to set an example for women your age to tell them that age is just a damn number. It's got nothing to do with anything. So I don't think that it's even right for anyone to play the age card, because
Yeah,
I don't, and I don't think the industry believes in it either.
Yeah, I think-
because I think all our actors today who are working so much, be it Raveena, be it Kajol, be it Karishma, be it me, we are all doing our part. I mean, and we are busy doing
Yeah.
everything so right.
Absolutely.
So I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree
This
with that.
obsession with youth, do you think it's not
feel,
there anymore?
I mean, it's there to some extent,
Yeah.
but a lot of people have moved beyond it.
Yeah,
They're willing to look past it, and I think today there's roles being written for women of all ages and beautiful roles. Today we live in an age where there's rank newcomers, 17, 18-year-olds making their debuts, and we have Jaya ji working
Yes.
as well,
Yeah,
Rekha ji
absolutely,
working,
yeah.
and
Shabana ji.
yeah, Shabana ji, and I think it's beautiful to see women of every age range come into their own, find their own niche and space, and kind of be killing it where they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
True.
Yeah.
Great. Great. On that note, thank you so much to the two of you. It's a pleasure speaking to the two of you, especially women who aren't afraid to speak their minds. And kudos to you for taking a jab on yourself recently.
Or I didn't take any jab. You all only keep taking jabs at me.
What? Tell me.
You keep thinking I'm pregnant, yeah?
Hey, you are pointing fingers at
I
me.
meant media in general. Sorry, I was
No, but that was a very,
generalizing.
very funny video. But
But I
Zahir
think,
did.
when it happens, she'll be the first one to tell the
Announce,
world.
yeah, कि
Yeah.
अब मैं खुद
Guys,
चुप हो जाऊं.
finally.
Yeah. I know, guys, finally.
But thank you. Thank you. All the very best for Jatadhara.
Thank you so much.
And with that, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Now Showing. जिस तरह पान अधूरा है बिना कत्था और चूना, ठीक उसी तरह मूवीज के बिना है सब कुछ सूना सूना. Which is why we'll be back next week with some more amazing reviews, recommendations, and interviews. Till then, this is me, Abhijit Bhatt, signing off. Stay filmy, stay fabulous.